Hey there YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to install a Tupplur blind from Ikea. First step, you're going to want to figure out how you're going to mount it. And if you want it inside the window frame or outside, that's going to dictate what section of the manual you're going to use and what pages you go to. For this installation, I'm actually going to be doing it inside the frame of the window. And so I'm going to be using the side screws and not these holes. You want to make sure that you put the plastic pieces on first before you screw these in. The manual did not even mention these little white plastic pieces, but they make it look a lot better than just exposed metal. Alright, first step. Well, actually, when you're mounting these, make sure that you are 5 millimeters away from any obstruction that's going to hit the roll when it's fully wound, you know, because it's going to be thicker than this. And that's why in the manual it says it has that little 5 millimeters there. Then you're going to want to... Now that I've finished this, I know to tell you, when you're doing this measurement, measure in between, if you're installing it in this orientation, measure in between the two metal brackets. Don't measure wood to wood on the window frame. Measure between the two metal brackets, because it appears they don't actually take that into account like I thought they did. Okay, so after you take that measurement, which was actually 41 7/8, this is the second time I had to measure it anyway, take that measurement and you don't draw your line at that measurement here. This is confusing on step 5, how it shows you taking the X millimeter or X inches from that step and putting it here. You can't do that. You go to the next step first, and you see when he actually puts the scissors to it, this is supposed to mean that you take off 31 millimeters from that X measurement to account for the roller piece. So this 1.25 inches here that you want to shift that line back comes from the width of this, I think this is like the springy piece. This piece here, the thickness of that, plus the bit that protrudes out right here. Once it's in the pipe, it's going to have that little bit of protrusion of plastic there. So that way when you go to put it on the wall, your fabric isn't too long and actually hitting like where you'd want to actually put the bracket. You'll see what I mean when you do it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is important right here, because you have, based upon the model that you bought, a maximum that you can actually cut off. I don't know why. There might be a spring in there. I don't know. Alright, so we do the math there. 1.25 inches off of our actual measurement is 40 5/8. And that 40 5/8, trying to do it close as I can, is right here. And then here. We really got to only worry about the prettiness of our cut for the first 20 inches or so, because our window is pretty short. But you want to use a straight edge for the whole length of it if you're going to be putting it on a taller window. And 40 5/8. You can do math and subtract instead from the other side, but I suck at math. So, gonna take our line now. Hopefully this is straight. Alright, there we go. And this is gonna be my cut line. Alright, so you gotta remember to take out the piece in the bottom here. So I'm just gonna bump it out with the scissors. There we go. That worked pretty good. Let's take the stick out. It's hard to see. Don't have the best lighting in here. Alright. Alright, and this next step, you're going to need a hacksaw, miter box preferably. So this is saying that you just go 5 millimeters or 3/16 inch from the end of your roll here. So 3/16 from the end is roughly right there-ish. Alright. Then, after it's cut, put this little plug in there. I don't think the orientation really matters. Here we go. Bob's your uncle. Make sure the wood's in here. Push it all the way over to the edge here. Mark where you want to cut it. Don't mark your blind. Err on the side of too short on this because you don't want your wood sticking out. Put your rod back in. Alright, and the next step says to basically just click that sucker up there. Left side in first, and then the other side, the spring-loaded side, in last. And also, you want to make sure that the little red tab is down. So, I'm going to stick that in there. That must not be in there all the way. So, what's happening here is because of the red piece and just my horrible measurement, this is still way too long. I discovered that I didn't measure this correctly. Alright, so after you mount it, give it a good unwind all the way and then rewind it in, and that'll straighten it out for you. And for the final step, lock. There we go. For the final step, this little thing in this clear bracket, and then slide it on. Don't slide this on before the other bracket. So, I'm already loving this purchase. Not really. It's annoying as shit. Alright, let's test it. Pull it down. Oh, it's off center. Pull it down. Looks off center. It was off center. And give it a flick. 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 God damn it. Flick. There we go. And there we have a solid blacked out bathroom window that pretty much matches our walls. Thanks for watching.